too much coffee, I think. How are we all today? As you can see, it's just after 1:30 p.m. in Memphis. And I hope you're having a good Sunday. Yeah, definitely too much coffee. I shouldn't be dancing like this. Okay, so welcome to Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel. This day in Elvis history coming up, Fan of the Month quiz, Elvis photo and song of the week, poll result, and much, much more. We'll be talking about the birthday proclamation, and also my little radio appearance on Splinterwood Radio on Friday with Mike James. There you go. That's my intro. Yeah, I don't know if anybody did hear my interview with Mike James on his Big Breakfast show on Splinterwood Radio in England, the UK. It's available online. You can actually listen to Splinterwood Radio online by going to their website. And he was speaking to me. What's this? Big Tam. Evening, Steve. First time on live chat. Hello, everyone. Hi, Big Tam, and welcome. And he was asking me about the channel and asking me about Elvis and how I became a fan and all this and all that. And he asked me to pick my 3 favorite Elvis songs. And I said to Mike, Mike, these are my favorite 3 Elvis songs today. You speak to me tomorrow, there'll be 3 completely different songs. As we probably all know, it's just impossible to pick one. So I picked Any Day Now, Stand By Me, and my third one was High-Heeled Sneakers. But if you asked me today, I probably wouldn't pick any of those. So Jill says you were great on the radio. Well, thank you very much. That's very, very kind. As I said to Mike, it's all for Elvis. I don't make any money out of this channel. It's not to do with money. It's to do with keeping the legacy of Elvis Presley alive. And we'll be mentioning that a little bit later as well when we discuss the birthday proclamation. If you want to ring in and speak to me about the birthday proclamation, were you there? Did you see it? What did you think about it? If you want to speak to me about Fun in Acapulco, you can do that as well. If you want to speak to me about anything Elvis related, then you can. You can ring me free on Facebook Messenger and Instagram. Don't be shy. I don't bite. Okay, I think that's covered most of it, so let's get started. We're up to Elvis's 13th movie, Fun in Acapulco, 1963 American musical comedy film starring Elvis Presley, of course, as Mike Windgren, Ursula Andress as Margarita Dupin, however you want to say it, Elsa Cardenas as Dolores Gomez, Larry Domasin as Rual, Red West as a poolside guest, even though obviously he wasn't credited for that, and Terry Garr also. The actress Terry Garr was an extra. So let's run through it as quickly as we can. A lot of you are probably familiar with this movie. Not one of the Elvis's worst movies, I have to admit. Mike Windgren works on a boat in Acapulco, Mexico. When Janie Harkins, the bratty daughter of the boat owner, gets him fired, Mike must find new work. A Mexican boy named Raul helps him get a job as a lifeguard and singer at a local hotel. Clashes abound when Mike runs into a rival lifeguard who is the champion of diver of Mexico. He is angry at Mike for taking some of his hours and for stealing his women. I wonder who. Yeah. Okay, let's throw up some pictures while I'm talking. Mike is recovering from post-traumatic stress disorder and a fear of heights following a tragic high-wire accident during his career as a circus performer. However, after Mike sees the lifeguard perform a number of dangerous dives, including flips and head-first dives into a section of the pool surrounded by a ring of fire, he decides to get even with him and eventually sets himself up to perform a death-defying dive of a 136-foot cliff. And it's called La Quebrada in front of hundreds of people. Mike dives off the cliff and successfully lands in the water, earning the lifeguard's respect. As the crowd and the lifeguard applaud, Mike performs one more song and leaves with Margarita. And there she is there now. Exterior filming in Acapulco took place in January 1963. A stunt double was used for Elvis, whose own shots were later completed in March at the Paramount Studios using a sort of like a green screen or a process shot. Elvis was unable to go to Mexico as he had been declared persona non grata by local authorities following 2 violent riots at the trendy Las Americas cinema in Mexico City. During the opening of his previous films, King Creole in 1959 and GI Blues, otherwise known as Cafe Europa, in 1961. In fact, the ban had actually started in 1957 when Excelsior, Mexico's foremost newspaper, published an article by gossip columnist Frederic de Leon that falsely stated Elvis had been interviewed while visiting Tijuana, a place Elvis never visited, before or after, where he had allegedly said he would not care to go sing in Mexico as he found it distasteful country and that he would in fact prefer to kiss 3 African Americans rather than a single Mexican woman. Now, let's just get that straight. He never said that. Okay, that was made up. All right, so as we know, even then, back then, stuff was made up just like it is now. This led to a split in attitudes towards Elvis among a Mexican youth, which became physically violent on several occasions. The King Creole riots saw 100 people jailed, but by the time Fun in Acapulco's release, Elvis records had been banned from airplay in 1957. His records publicly burnt in the town square the same year, and as stated above, his ban from stores enforced since 1959. Decades later, it came to light that the false Elvis quotes were the work of Ernesto Peralta, a powerful politician and the regent of Mexico City. He allegedly sent a blank check to Elvis's Los Angeles offices in 1957 in return for Elvis's appearance in the 15th birthday bash of the daughter of a powerful media mogul on whose behalf he was acting. The invitation was not agreed upon, and the check was returned despite the fact that the mogul had already began to boast publicly that Elvis would appear at his daughter's birthday. The story in Excelsior was then planted both as a form of revenge and as a way of explaining why he did not come to Mexico to sing. So they made a mess of it by starting to say that Elvis was appearing. Elvis wasn't appearing, so they then put out that false story. And it all got kind of out of hand, didn't it? Let's have a look at the reception that the movie got. Howard Thompson of the New York Times wrote in a positive review that the attractive travel poster for the famed Mexican resort is far and away Elvis's best musical feature to date. Well, I wouldn't really say that's positive, but there you go. It's a pleasant, idyllic movie that never takes itself seriously and moves briskly along under Richard Thorpe's direction. Elvis has never seemed so relaxed and personable. A middling review in Variety said, Elvis fans won't be disappointed. No, that's correct. He sings 10 sensational songs and wiggles a bit to boot, especially in Bossa Nova Baby. However, the ground covered by the plot doesn't help to increase his star stature for those who are not devotees. The main attraction may not turn out to be the technicolor scenery of Acapulco, or so it may turn out to be it. John L. Scott of the Los Angeles Times said Elvis buffs will eat it up. Director Richard Thorpe has kept the film's pace swift, which helps to cover up a lack of character development. The monthly film bulletin declared there is a distinct falling away here from the charm, humour and loveliness of some of Elvis's previous films, notably Follow That Dream. The film featured the top 10 Billboard hit Bossa Nova Baby and reached number 1 on the National Week box office charts a week after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The film would be Elvis's last release before the arrival of Beatlemania. It was a top-grossing movie musical of 1963. Sorry, it was the top-grossing movie musical of 1963. So let's not forget that. The main recording sessions for Fun in Acapulco were held between the 22nd and 23rd of 1963 at Radio Recorders in Hollywood. These were preceded by a full day of rehearsal on the 21st, as well as half a day on the 22nd. The song Guadalajara was not done live in the studio as standard practice of the time, but instead recorded as a track on the 23rd, with Elvis overdubbing his vocals at a later date. He recorded his vocals on February the 27th, again at Radio Recorders. The final master was a splice between vocal overdub take 6 and 2. Two bonus songs, Love Me Tonight, Slowly But Surely, were recorded as part of a group of non-soundtrack sessions held at RCA Studio B in Nashville between the 26th and 28th of May 1963. According to the original tape box for the stereo album masters, the album was mixed and assembled on October the 1st, 1963. Fun in Acapulco was reissued on the Follow That Dream label in April 2003, this time containing the original album, the outtakes released at that point, and numerous other unreleased takes. March 2019, it was re-released again, once again on the Follow That Dream label, as a limited edition 3 CD box set entitled Fun in Acapulco Sessions, containing a 28-page booklet and a new remaster of the original studio album master tapes, as well as the virtually complete sessions, including masters remixed from scratch from the original 3-track sessions. This also saw the first official release of the non-Elvis material recorded for the soundtrack. So you near enough got just about everything with that 3D set. So the album got to number 3 on the Billboard. In the US, it got to the US release date, and then it got to, again, let's see, in October 1963, Bossa Nova Baby got to number 8 in the charts and number 13 in the UK. Now, Ursula Andress, let's have a look at this. There was actually, apparently, she had designs on Elvis, but it's unclear whether he felt the same. At the time, she was married to actor, director, producer, screenwriter John Derek. It's never really been sort of proved one way or the other whether she was interested in it being more than just a working relationship with Elvis. And I don't think Elvis really sort of made a comment. He never really commented about his the people that he starred with, his co-stars and things like that. He was quite discreet about things like that. So that's just a little bit of sort of trivia. There is a photograph later which I'm going to show, which might tell us a little bit more about the feelings between there. Steve, can these be classed as cold shower photos? Well, they all can be, for men and the women. The ones that of Elvis could be for the women, and then we've got things like this, which is Ursula Andress, which could well fall into the category of cold shower for men. Coming up later, we've got the Fan of the Month quiz. We've got the Song of the Week. We've got This Day in Elvis History. And also another thing as well, I don't know if you've watched it. If you have missed it, I did a video between Christmas and New Year. It wasn't a live video, but it was a video about Elvis's boyhood places where he'd lived, his boyhood homes where he'd lived in Tupelo and Memphis. And if you haven't watched that yet, check it out. It's available on this channel. Hi, Mark. How are you doing? What is your favourite song recorded for the movie Fun in Acapulco? That's the question I asked you to vote on. And the options were Fun in Acapulco, Mexico, Margarita, Bossa Nova Baby, and Guadalajara. And Banjo Paul, hi Banjo, has said fast, funky and fun. There's an extended edit version too, which is also which is okay if you don't want the song to end, like I don't. My son would sing Bossa Nova when he was 3. So basically that's what Paul is picking. He's picking Bossa Nova Baby. 5107 Lois says, I like Guadalajara because I feel that this song really shows off his voice. It also gives Elvis lots of credit for giving his all in singing in Spanish with the famous mariachi. Edwidge says, hello Steve, my choice is Mexico, but I also like Fun in Acapulco with his gorgeous voice. Yeah. Great trumpets and things on this album as well, wasn't there? Just a great Mexican feel to it, or Spanish feel to it. Then Elaine says, "Hi Steve, love most of the songs. My ultimate favourite is Bossa Nova Baby." I wonder which way this poll is going to go. Those moves, Elvis can dance. He looks gorgeous as usual. So slick. Never tire of seeing him in this film. Sending birthday wishes to such a special man who lives in our hearts forever. There will be a big party in heaven today. Take care. And regards, Elaine. Yes, that's right. We must really say a big happy birthday to Elvis. I know it was yesterday, and as I say, we'll be just talking about the birthday proclamation in a little while. Anne Weiss says some very diverse tracks in this movie, showcasing his early 60s vocal prowess. The movie itself allowed him to shine in some hilarious comedic moments. As for his romantic interest, for me, a huge mismatch. I think you mean Ursula. Having said that, Elvis always played to the script he was given. I chose Bossa Nova Baby as he not only excelled vocally, we also got to see him perform some snazzy dance moves. Jelly Legs comes to mind. And Bossa Nova Baby says, as my screen name, Bossa Nova Baby, then no room to rumba in a sports car. We have Anthony Kiola. Hi, Anthony. Margarita. It's one of my all-time favorite songs, my top 5. Believe it or not, but when I first heard David Bowie's Black Star, parts of it reminded me of Margarita. Fun in Acapulco is also my favorite film soundtrack. Okay. Jill Brett, Bossa Nova Baby for me, Steve. I also like, I think I'm going to like it here. And we'll finish up with Vilma Morrow. Hi, Vilma. Bossa Nova Baby first, without a doubt. Then Slowly But Surely, a close second. Yeah, Slowly But Surely wasn't recorded for the movie, but it was used in the movie. So are we going to have a look at the poll to see how everybody voted? Is it going to be a really, really big runaway for one song? And the answer is yes, it is. In fact, 77% is the highest vote of any song on my polls. We've sort of gone into the 50s and 60s%, but we've never hit 70 odd percent before. And as you can see, Bossa Nova 77%. Fun in Acapulco 9. Mexico only got 4. Margarita just a shade more, 5%. And Guadalajara 6%. Surprising. I will let you know later what my favorite song is from Fun in Acapulco, and it is my song of the week. So we're going to do the Fan of the Month quiz now, very shortly, if we are ready, Maxine. And I'm not sure whether Dave, Arkansas Dave, is with us as well, if he's moderating. But Maxine does a great job just confirming that I get the right person for the first correct answer. We've got a new sound... I'll speak to Maxine first, and then I'll tell you about the new sound effect. Hi, Maxine.
Hey, Steve.
How are you?
Sore at the minute because I've been running all day. So.
Oh yeah, I've seen your posts actually. You're on a keep fit kick at the moment, aren't you?
Yep.
Very, very admirable. Yes, well done, well done. And you feel well. They always say no pain, no gain, don't they?
Exactly.
So, what would you like to talk about Fun in Acapulco or the birthday proclamation first?
I think both. I think Priscilla did a brilliant job yesterday from what she said.
Yeah.
And the cake was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it was modelled on the living room.
Yeah.
Yeah. It must have been very, very cold because she couldn't hardly cut it. And there were comments as well that it was frozen at one point.
Oh, no.
And Jack Soden also said he can't understand how January the 8th always seems to be the coldest day in Memphis of the year.
Oh, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. But it was brief, wasn't it? I think it was all over in about 22, 23 minutes.
It was, yeah.
And it seems to get briefer every year, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They used to have people sort of singing, and they had somebody singing last year, I believe, if I remember rightly.
I think they did, yeah.
But not this year. It was just Argo, or Argo, sorry, not Arco. Argo, then Jack, then Priscilla, And then back to cutting the cake and singing happy birthday. And by the
Yeah.
way, if anybody wants to ring in about the proclamation, how do they feel about them singing happy birthday Elvis? Should they keep singing happy birthday Elvis, or should they just cut the cake and clap and cheer? How do you feel about it, Maxine?
I think they should keep singing it, but if there's not many people interacting with it, they should just do like a little mini presentation about him, like
Yeah.
from his early age up to his unfortunately passing, like the good bits of him, and just wish him a happy birthday through that, and then cheer for him.
Yeah, Priscilla did a really good job by kind of trying to gee up the crowd when they were singing. But of course, you know, it was hard to hear the crowd because obviously they were far away from the mics. There was only mics actually on the stage. There was no mics obviously on the crowd. So, but she did do a good job, and she looked very, very cold. In fact, everybody looked very, very cold.
Oh, they did, didn't they? Bless them all.
I think I was speaking to Ruth last week, Ruth Daniel, and she said she was going to be there. So hopefully Ruth might ring in later and tell us all about it.
Oh, that would be amazing to hear her story.
Yeah, I know there's a whole week of celebrations going on. You know, it's not just the 8th. It's the whole week that they do specials and everything across the road.
Oh, wow.
Brian says they should keep singing happy birthday. Okay, Ronald says frozen cake, yum yum. It would break your teeth. It would break your teeth though. That's the thing. If it was too hard. Okay, so Fun in Acapulco.
Brilliant movie.
Mm-hmm. By the way, what's your favorite song from the movie?
Ooh, Bossa Nova, baby.
Yeah, is it the song or is it the sequence where he's dancing to it? That's the thing.
I think it's more of the dancing.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah,
it was. Moves for it.
I mean, it was definitely one of his most energetic numbers ever on film. Yeah. I think. Okay, so you could say you could say Jailhouse Rock and things like that, but as far as the '60s movies was concerned, it was very, very, very energetic.
Oh yeah.
And he did genuinely look like he was having a great time. And there's also an extended remix as well where it goes on. Is it from Viva Elvis or something like that? You know,
I think it might be, yeah.
And they voice sampled, man, it's hot in here and all this and all that and things like that. And it goes on, and it's a good video as well. I think it was on for about 5 or 6 minutes. It's very, very good.
Oh, wow.
And it featured in a Heineken advert as well, I believe. Where the girl takes a sip of his Heineken and then leaves lipstick on it, and he thinks he's in with a chance, and then it turns out that she actually has a girlfriend. But it's kind of a funny ad. But it's great to see Elvis being used in so many adverts and on television. As you've probably heard me say many times, they use Elvis over here for the National Lottery. And it's just great. Yeah. And they've been using it for years. Pocket Full of Rainbows, If I Can Dream, and all those things. Just great. It's just brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Somebody in the National Lottery must be a big Elvis fan.
Oh, definitely.
What do you think of the interaction and match? Somebody called it a mismatch between Ursula Andress and Elvis. Was there on-screen chemistry between them, like say Anne-Margaret and Elvis, or was it a bit of a flunk?
I think it was. It's a hard one to say because obviously he's a real private person, but I don't think there was much on-screen romance between them two. To be honest with you, I just didn't feel it. Yeah,
well, I mean, you know, the two sides of the coin is if we could tell that there was an electricity between him and Anne-Margaret, we could probably tell that there was no electricity between him and Ursula.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So, unfortunately, I tend to agree with the person. I'm not sure who said it earlier on, but I tend to agree with the person. I think, unfortunately, it was a bit of a mismatch. Now,
it was.
I think it might have been on Elvis's side. I think the fact that maybe Ursula, because she was married at the time, Elvis felt, no, this isn't going to happen. So whether, I think Ursula might have been keen on Elvis, and Elvis was sort of like, whoa, no, And I'm going to show a picture later on, and people can sort of draw their own conclusions from it. But that's the conclusion that I am gathering from it.
I'm agreeing with you on that one. I don't think there was any spark between them because in his other movies, with a lot of women, you can see that spark between them. But in this one, I just didn't feel it. Yeah,
like you mean Shelley Fabares and obviously Anne and Anne Helm, Judy Tyler. Great chemistry between him and Judy. He thought an awful lot of Judy and was absolutely devastated when he heard of her death.
I know, bless her.
George Klein said he was just. I don't think he could watch Jailhouse Rock again after that because.
No, I don't think he
And
could.
she was a newlywed, wasn't she? They were on honeymoon or something when the accident happened. She hadn't.
I heard that, yeah.
She hadn't got married long before they started work on Jailhouse Rock anyway. So yeah. Okay. Anything else you'd like to say?
Just wishing Elvis a happy birthday, and I hope he's rocking it up in heaven.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. You wonder what he'd been like at 87, wouldn't you?
I know. It's a shame because a lot of us never got to see him, and I think most of the world these days take it for granted. Like when he passed, or when he was alive, they took it for granted quite a lot. But now that he's gone, you just realise how much people miss him.
Yeah, how good he was.
Yeah,
how
exactly.
How special he was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impossible to say what he would have been doing now at 87. He'd have been taking it a lot easier, but I think he would have been acting more.
Oh yeah.
He would have still been doing the singing and things like that. I don't think he would have been touring at 87. I think he would have. I think he would have knocked touring on the head. Had he got well after 1977, I think he would have scaled right back. He'd have been more selective on the touring. He definitely would. If he'd have got his health back, he would have done the world thing. We know that. And of course, the offers would have been a lot bigger as time got on. I mean, look at what the money some stars command now for one appearance. Well, Elvis could have done the same, but Elvis was getting offers like that, in the mid 70s. Was he offered 10 million or something to do one concert at the Pyramids?
I think he was, yeah.
So you can imagine what offers he would have, in the 1990s and 2000s, especially with him being the biggest star in the world. So, but we can only dream, unfortunately.
I know. Can you imagine if he'd because I heard somewhere that the Queen wanted him to play at the Royal Variety Show, didn't she?
Yeah.
I think it was. And
but you don't get paid for that. And of course Parker says, if he's not being paid, we're not doing it. So
yeah, exactly.
Don't get me started.
No, I won't.
All right. So happy birthday, Elvis.
Exactly. Happy birthday to the man.
Thanks for calling in, Maxine, and thanks for moderating. We're going to do the fan of the month quiz in a minute, okay?
Awesome.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Yeah. It really does make you wonder what Elvis would have been doing now had he lived, and if he was 90, if he was 87. Right. Let's hop in and do the. Like I say, if anybody else wants to ring in and give me their opinion, what they think Elvis would have been doing, opinions on the. Here's Ruth. I was looking forward to Ruth ringing in. Hey, Ruth, how are you doing?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. I mentioned you a little earlier because I knew you were at the birthday proclamation.
Yes, I was there. It was great. It was cold. Like everybody said, it was 27 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, wow.
We had some north wind blowing.
Oh, my goodness.
I was all bundled up, but, my feet were frozen still.
Did you get near the front
I had my
to see Priscilla?
On. Yeah, Priscilla was great. She actually stayed after she talked to almost everybody in the line right by the stage.
Yeah.
She talked to everybody, and then they were clearing out people for the pictures with the cake.
Oh yeah.
And she came over to the people standing for the pictures and talked to us over there. I happened to be able to do that this time.
Yeah, because I remember asking you last week, does she come over and talk to people? And you said, no, not really. So this was kind of something quite extra special this year, yeah?
Yes, we were very surprised that she just didn't go back into the house. It was so cold.
Yeah, bless her.
And she came over to us, got pictures with people, signed things. She looked right at me and said, "You look warm."
Yeah, very good. Have you?
It was wonderful.
Is that the first time you've actually met Priscilla?
I met her in January of 2020 when they were doing a meet and greet with her. I got to meet her then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you would say that she's a nice lady.
Oh, she's beautiful too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very sweet, beautiful.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
So you enjoyed that day. What did you do after they cut the cake and so forth? Well, you told me immediately after, but what did you do for the rest of the day?
We went to Elvis Presley's Memphis. I went with a friend who hadn't been before, and went to Elvis Presley's Memphis, ate lunch at Vernon's Smokehouse.
All right.
Went to conversations with Priscilla and let's see who no, Lowell Hayes was there telling great stories.
All right, yeah.
And also Jack Soden was there with Priscilla.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, we went over there to the guest house at Graceland Theater and went to conversations with Elvis people, and Angie Marchese told us about some new exhibits they're going to be putting up this year for Elvis's 45th anniversary.
Yeah.
So they'll be doing some great ones on the stage-wear he wore. So they're redoing all of the Elvis the Entertainer Museum.
Yeah.
And they're going to be really working on that. I think it's going to be May when that's going to be out. It's called Stagewear. So they're going to put like 600 of his stage wear. They've got jumpsuits, all kinds of jumpsuits that haven't been on display.
Goodness me.
Yeah, so it'll be awesome.
So anybody who is planning to go to Graceland during the summer is going to have a real treat.
Yes.
Brilliant.
It'll be wonderful.
Tell me, was there much talk about the upcoming biopic?
A little bit. Priscilla said, of course, Tom Brown was interviewing her, and Tom Brown asked her about it and said, I know you haven't been involved in this, but tell us more about, if you know what you know. And she goes, well, we'll see.
Okay.
Baz, he's so private about all this that he's doing, and he's very, I don't know what you call him. He's very crazy, I guess.
Yeah, he probably plays his cards close to his chest. He doesn't let too much go. Because
the way he's done things in the past, you wonder about how it's going to turn out, and that's the way that's what she said.
Yeah.
And she's going to view the movie before it's actually out, and because he wants her to see it, and she doesn't know yet how she's going to react to it. She doesn't know yet.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. So we haven't got much longer to wait now. June, isn't it? I believe.
That's right. And
Priscilla also said that she's traveling to Chile in June. That's a strange part of the world, I suppose, to go to. I mean, would Elvis be big in Chile?
He's big everywhere, Steve. What?
True. That's a silly question. It just struck me when she said we're traveling to Chile. I thought, well, okay, yeah. I suppose. And
Australia, of course, because they're taking the 300 items over there to Australia in March.
Yeah. I think Priscilla must have been watching this channel, because she said exactly what I always said. We're here to keep Elvis's legacy alive and to turn on young fans and to get newer fans to come through. So hi Priscilla, if you're watching.
Right, she is. She did say that. She just loves, she's just very. She's very personable now. She's more personable than I've ever seen her.
Yeah. I mean, I've always thought that Priscilla maybe got a very bad deal about the way some people thought of her and spoke about her. I mean, we have to remember that Elvis chose her. Elvis, the only person that Elvis had a child with was Priscilla. So we have to respect that.
Exactly. She's very sweet.
Good. I'm glad you had a good time. Thanks for calling in and telling us about it, Ruth. It's much appreciated. Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay. Speak to you again.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Yeah. Thanks, Ruth. I mean, she was quite emotional at one point. She was saying, she wants to. This is her mission, to keep Elvis's legacy alive, and the more we can do, the better. And I thought there was a time where her voice actually sort of trembled a little bit, and she got a little bit emotional when talking about Elvis. And it's great to see that they're doing these things, as Ruth was just saying, the 300 items and so forth of stage wear and so forth. And let's have a word with Jeanette. Hi, Jeanette.
Yeah.
How are you?
Hi, Steve. Very well. How was your day? How's your evening?
Yeah, it's going well. It's going well.
Good.
I just want to tip you off that one of your photographs is coming up later. Jeanette sent me a photograph to use for cold shower, and I'm going to use one of them.
Oh, right on. Good.
So watch out for that.
I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I know. It's a good one. It's a good one. He looks really good.
Great. Good.
So what do you think?
About what?
About anything Elvis.
Well, unfortunately, I wasn't home all day yesterday. I was out and about, so I didn't get a chance to, watch anything birthday related. But I did. We were the group of people I was with. We did celebrate by listening to a lot of his music for most of the day.
Yeah.
So we were thinking about him and celebrating.
Good. Listening to plenty of Elvis's music. Were you watching any movies?
Let's see. You know what? Fun in Acapulco was one of them.
I don't believe it. Well, I was flicking around doing something because we got a new TV set yesterday, which we were setting up. And I was flicking around the channels, and all of a sudden, what came up? But Viva Las Vegas. I thought, oh, well, we'll just watch this for a little while. This will test the television out.
Well, that's a good movie to have on and try out. Sure.
Yeah. And of course, with the new high definition picture, it looked brilliant.
Oh, yeah. I bet.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. So you didn't unfortunately get to see the birthday proclamation.
No, but I would love to go. Who wants to go with me? Maybe next year or for the 90th one?
Yeah.
90 would be a big one to go to. We should plan something there.
It doesn't seem 5 minutes since it was the 80th, and now it's the 87th birthday. So that you think the 90th birthday is a long, long way away, but it's not that far. Not
it
the way,
isn't. It really isn't.
How do you feel about should they or shouldn't they continue to sing "Happy Birthday, Elvis"?
Of course, they should continue. What?
The only reason I'm asking is because some people say they don't like it. They wish they didn't sing "Happy Birthday, Elvis." They just cut the cake and cheered and clapped. But I just wondered how people felt about it.
I'm sorry to laugh at that. I don't understand that complaint. I just don't. He deserves. He deserves. I wouldn't use the word praise. Maybe the word praise, but he deserves the accolades. And why? I mean, we sing "Happy Birthday" to total strangers we've never seen before, or have only known for a minute.
Yeah.
Why not sing "Happy Birthday" to Elvis, of all people, who was a trailblazer? I mean, I don't see what the big deal is. It's celebrating his birthday. Why wouldn't you sing "Happy Birthday"? Big deal.
Do you know what I would say is, Priscilla did her best to try and get the crowd G'd up to sing as loud as they could. But do you know what would be better? If they put music for the people to sing along to, it would probably sound a bit better. You know what I'm saying?
Well, of course, if you had a backtrack, it would sound better and more people would sing on key.
Yeah.
That would help.
Yeah.
But to cease it altogether doesn't make sense to me. I hope that doesn't happen.
Okay, well, if anybody from EPE is listening to this now, listening to me and Jeanette, right, we recommend maybe putting the tune "Happy Birthday" for people to sing along to, and it'll keep them all together. And as you say, keep them in tune.
Right. I mean, or you can have somebody with a little pitch pipe thing to get the pitch.
Yeah.
And then someone starts it, and then you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But please don't stop it altogether. That's ridiculous.
Okay. Well said. Okay, Jeanette, stay tuned because, like I say, I will be using your picture later on. Unless you've got something else to say. Have you got anything else to say?
Let's just say fun in Acapulco. Fun watching Elvis in swim trunks for 80% of the movie.
Yeah, this is it. He did spend a lot of time stripped off, didn't he?
Hello. Yeah, I didn't notice. Yeah, hello. Some of those camera angles were fantastic. You kind of chuckle a little bit. You see him dive into the water. He comes out. The hair is perfectly combed. Another scene, dives in the water, comes out, hair sopping wet, doesn't put a towel to the hair, but 10 seconds later, totally perfectly coiffed. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. No,
it's all right.
Well,
I will say,
continuity wasn't a big thing in Elvis films, I don't think.
It was a little strange seeing him filming scenes in front of all the background photography, you know, all that moving background. It looked kind of odd for me.
Yeah.
But I do think that kid who played Raul, I thought he was fantastic, and he was super cute.
Yes, he was. He
was great.
And when they sing Mexico on the bike.
Oh yes, that scene. He's super cute.
Yeah.
And I know you got to get to the quiz, but with Ursula Andress, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Somebody correct me. I thought I read in the book by the Mafia, either Marty or Billy said that Elvis didn't want to ever be alone with her because she was married, and he didn't want to mess around with married women.
Yes, correct. There was another comment as well he said about her shoulders as well, which I didn't really want to repeat, but I think he thought she was a bit manly.
Yeah, he felt a little, maybe, I don't know if intimidated is the word, to take his shirt off. Someone said that earlier in the chat. But she was a swimmer, so she had the swimmer shoulders.
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
That's my understanding.
Yeah.
That she was a swimmer.
Well, she was also the good old fashioned hourglass, wasn't she? So she was quite big on top, then a small waist, and then big hips again. Which is nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. You know, that's as a man, that's fine.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Is she just got her big break from the Bond movie, right? So she's hot off the scene from Bond, and she gets thrown into this movie. Well, I don't know about thrown, but she's in this movie, and she's boring.
Yeah.
She bores me in this film. Yeah. Like, okay, she's pretty.
Yeah.
But the other lady, the actress Elsa, I'm sorry, I don't remember her last name, Elsa.
Yeah.
She got all the kissing scenes with him and the spicy scenes.
Yes, that's right.
Ursula's all boring.
Yeah. Her name was, let's see now, Elsa Cardenas. Yes, Cardenas.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another pretty lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she was pretty. She was spicy in that movie. I liked her character, and I liked the lifeguard. I thought he was a good-looking guy, and he played a good nemesis to Elvis, I thought.
Yeah. So overall, a good film and good songs as well. Good album. Not a bad soundtrack album at all. Yeah.
Yes. Before I hang up, I absolutely love the soundtrack, and it reminds me of my dad because he loves the soundtrack too. He loves Guadalajara, but I love, of course, the Bossa Nova Baby.
Yeah.
There is something about that beat.
Yes.
And that beat gets me up. I don't care where I'm at. I will get up and I will get down to that song. It's got such a fun beat. And then, you're going to see him dancing like that on the film. Yeah. It's hot. Well, then, of course, Margarita.
Well, I'm glad they did the extended version of Bossa Nova Baby because the original wasn't long enough. So the actual extended video now is great. Fantastic. And
I love it.
You're going to say about Margarita, yeah?
Oh, I love the build-up in Margarita.
Yeah.
It's very sensual.
Yes.
It's very sexy. And there's a build-up to that song. It's so hot. And he sings it so beautifully. And I'm like, I want to be Margarita. Yes. I want to change my name and be Margarita.
You're not alone.
But yeah, those two songs are fire.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good. All right. Well, there's a lot more I could say, but I know we got to do the quiz. Everyone's waiting.
Oh, by the way, I hope the new job is going well for you, Jeanette. I really do.
Oh, Steve, thank you. You're so sweet.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. It's a little difficult to grasp at first, but it's only been week 1. But everyone there has been very supportive and kind. So I'll catch on.
Good.
Thanks for asking. Okay. That's so nice.
No bother. Okay, Jeanette. Thank you.
Have a great week. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Bye.
Bye.
Right, yes. So we are going to dive into the quiz. Sorry to keep you waiting. Don't forget there is a prize at the end of each month for the person that has got the most correct answers. So stand by. Maxine. 6 questions. It's blanks again. And then next week, I think I've got a new sort of quiz topic for you, which I've never done before. It's a brand new sort of format. So look forward to that. I've got the thumbs up from Maxine. So question 1, blank. It's 60s movie songs. And it starts with, you got the hugginest arms, the thrillingest. You got the hugginest arms, the thrillingest blanks. So, who is going? Oh, and I forgot to tell you, we've got a new sound effect. If you get it right, it's... That's what you get. If you get it wrong, you get a... But who is going to get the very first... Oh, no, sorry, wrong button. Who is going to get the very first... Okay, I can see eyes there, and that's Banjo Paul. And that's what it is. It's you got the hugginest arms, the thrillingest eyes. And I just want to wait until Maxine. Oh, look at all those eyes. Banjo Paul was first. Well done, Banjo. You get... What does everybody think of my new sound effect? Karen Armstrong says lips. No, I'm going to give you this, Karen. City by Night trumpet. Yeah, it does actually sound a bit like City by Night, doesn't it? Question number 2. Summer kisses, winter tears, like the stars they fade away, leaving me to spend my lonely blanks. Okay. Gary says great sound effect. See, I keep pushing the wrong button. I must label these up. Okay. City by Night. Love it. Okay. Helen says great sound effects. Thank you very much. Okay. Norset45 says nights. In fact, like a lot of people are saying it, but it looks like Norset was the first to be in. So she gets... Okay. We can bring on different sound effects throughout the year and see what people think. There's Ruth Daniel, Nights. Yeah, David, Nights. So who was first? I got Norset. Just waiting for confirmation. Yeah, Norset 45. Well done, Norset. Right, who's going to get the next I'm a poor Hawaiian beach boy a long way from the beach because someone shoved his blank against my hand. I'm a poor Hawaiian beach boy a long way from the beach because someone shoved his blank against my hand. Jeanette, I want that Elvis sound to be my ringtone or your text tone. When you get a text, it's... Okay, Paul. Oh, hi, Paul. Paul Gansky says face. Thanks for that information you gave me during the week, Paul, and I will be following that up. There's going to be plenty of... just for everybody, wondering what's coming up this coming year. There's going to be more interviews and so forth. So who got... Okay, Gary, I've just checked. It was Norset. Okay, so sorry, Maxine, who got face correct? What? Let's have a look. I got Paul Gansky. Is that correct? Okay. Earl says yes, Paul was first. I'm just waiting for Maxine to say, but I think it was Paul Gansky. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Maxine. Beach Boy Blues is correct. Right. We'll do the Plantation Rock. It's blank as can be. You'll want to dance around the clock. That's the next one. Oh, by the way, this is for Paul. Okay. We'll do the Plantation Rock. It's blank as can be. You'll want to dance around the clock. I'm not seeing any answers yet. No, not fun. No, everybody's putting fun. Of course, this wasn't actually included in the film. David Felton says easy. So, David, you get it? Jeanette? Brian Roberts? JC22? Bossa Nova Baby? Okay. Elvis Forever gets a... Okay. So, I just want to check to see who Maxine says got it first. Okay, David Felton was first. Thanks. Great. Yeah, you nearly want to do sing I'm All Shook Up after that. Okay. The next question, I'm just a Smoky Mountain boy coming back to the blank I love. So who's going to get the Elvis with this? Yeah, true, Banjo Paul. Don't wear it out. Don't overplay it. I'll only play it from now on when the person gets it right. Okay. I'm just a Smoky Mountain boy. I'm coming back to the blank I love. Okay, I saw their Bossa Nova Baby first, just before Norset. Banjo Paul says town. Banjo, I'm going to have to give you this. Okay. So I think Bossa Nova Baby is going to get... But I'll just check with Maxine. Yeah, a lot of hills there. Somebody said land, but it's actually hills. Hi, Angel Baby. How are you doing? Banjo Paul, I actually love that, Steve. I know. I just got a shaft, a moment of inspiration. What can I play? Bossa Nova Baby was first. What can I play when people get it right? Because I was playing this, and I didn't think it was as good. So that's Bossa Nova Baby. Right, we're actually at the last question this week. And the question is, are you ready? Fill in the blank. Hey, everybody, gather round. Listen to that blank sound. Okay. Hey, everybody, gather round. Listen to that blank sound. I almost said it then. The quiz is most certainly for everyone, Big Tam. Yes. Please join in. Hi, Michael. Yeah, Brian Roberts says bongo, which is what it is. Okay, so... And I'll just wait to see that Maxine has got Brian Roberts as well. I hope you enjoyed that quiz. I hope you enjoyed the new sound effect. There'll be plenty more coming up. There'll be plenty more live videos coming up. There'll be plenty more interviews coming up with people. Book interviews and hopefully co-star interviews and people that work with Elvis, people that knew Elvis and so forth. Brian Roberts was first. Thanks, Maxine. So, there is still a lot to come from this channel in 2022. We're going to do Elvis history, and then we're going to do my song of the week from Fun in Acapulco. Pick of the week as well. We'll do pick of the week after Elvis history. On this day, January the 9th, 1954, Elvis worked at Precision Tool Company, operating a drill press for $1.55 an hour. And they lived at 2414 Lamar Avenue. 1956, Elvis and the boys were in Nashville for his very first recording session for RCA. Of course he was. They arrived the following day, January the 10th, at the RCA studio in McGorvock Street. In the early afternoon, they worked from 2 to 10 p.m. and recorded his first songs for his new label. They recorded Heartbreak Hotel, I Got a Woman, Money Honey, but everyone agreed they didn't catch the sound Elvis wanted. There is too much echo and the sound is nothing like Sam Phillips had created in the Sun studio. Elvis was very disappointed. Well, if he'd have known what was ahead, I don't think he'd have been that disappointed. RCA worried they had gotten the wrong guy. Should it have been Carl Perkins? Blue suede shoes was out on Sun. Well, they definitely didn't get the wrong person. 1957, Elvis, Gene Smith, Cliff Cleaves, Bitsy Mott left by train for Los Angeles, where they checked into the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. Elvis was scheduled to record for RCA over the weekend before starting work on the soundtrack for his new Paramount picture, Loving You. 1959, in a long letter to Elvis in Germany, the Colonel suggested to Elvis that he should make home tape recordings with only his voice and a piano. The Colonel even told RCA about this, but nothing came from the idea. However, Elvis did in fact make a couple of tapes. These Germany home tapes were released on the Follow That Dream Elvis Collector label, as we about now know. 1967, Elvis went horse buying. Today he bought 3 more horses. 1971, Elvis was selected as one of the nation's 10 outstanding young men of the year for 1970 by the Junior Chamber of Commerce of America. We know he was very, very proud of that. This award had been given out since 1939 and had been awarded to distinguished men in all fields with one common denominator. They must be 35 or younger. Elvis flew to Los Angeles and then to Palm Springs for the weekend, where he bought another $3,500 worth of guns and gun-related equipment. 1973, Elvis arrived at the Honolulu airport. There he was brought to the Hilton Hawaiian Village Hotel by helicopter. Then he started his first rehearsal with the band and backup singers. We then have 1975. There was a big tornado in Macomb, Mississippi, with a lot of casualties. The Colonel used his news to persuade Elvis to do a benefit concert for the victims. This was the Colonel's way to get Elvis back on the road again, and Elvis agreed. 1976, on vacation in Vail, Colorado. There was a great deal of tension on this vacation, mostly due to Elvis's changes of mood, and Elvis was not feeling very well this evening, until Myrna revealed that she had not seen one of his favourite films, Across 110th Street. Elvis recited every line of dialogue from the picture for her. 1977, Elvis urged his dentist, Max Shapiro, to marry his fiancée in Palm Springs. Then Elvis got Larry Geller to perform the ceremony on the spot, with Elvis applying the rings and Ginger as maid of honor. What a guy. What a guy. Pick of the week. Right, first of all, I tell you what I'll do. I'll do Jeanette's pick of the week first. She supplied me with this, and I have to agree, it's a great pick of the week, and it's a cold shower photograph as well, and it's from August 1970. That's the way it is. He's just about to leave the dressing room to go on stage, and he says, "Are you ready, Joe?" And that picture was taken. So there you go. What do you think of that as a cold shower photo? Straight away, Maxine is in there with the shower heads. So we know, actually the shower will actually help your aching joints and muscles, Maxine. Bossa Nova Baby says, yes, yum, yum. Edward Scott's hearts. Yeah, I agree. It is a great photo. Thanks for sending that in, Jeanette. Steve, even if you never get an interview, this is a marvelous place. Thank you very much, Anula. No, there will be more interviews coming up. Priscilla says she's ready. Well, there it is, Priscilla. Now, I've got a bonus for you. This is my shower photograph. This is my pick of the week from Fun in Acapulco. And I think it's quite funny, actually. And the reason why I think it's quite funny is because look at that. Look at the dreamy face that Ursula has. And Elvis he looks like he can't even be bothered to be kissing her. He's looking over at something almost like, hey, is that lunch arriving? Where's my lunch? So maybe it is right that he wasn't that interested in having a romance with Ursula. And that's quite a funny photograph, I think. Gracie says, yes, it's a good one. That's the one from That's the Way It Is. Decent picture from the movie That's the Way It Is. Yeah. Maxine is laughing and says, yes, she agrees. It's definitely an odd picture. He's almost, like I say, he's looking over at something else. Like, is he looking at the television, perhaps? Is he looking at a ball game? Brian says she probably had bad breath. Looks like he's biting her, says Karen Armstrong. Yeah, Jeanette says Ursula had no problem getting into that kiss. Yeah, Gracie G says, loved the white outfit one, yeah. Ronald says, never have dessert before lunch. She is complete opposite of Priscilla and not Elvis's type. Okay, right, my song of the week from Fun in Acapulco. Okay, and let's pull up some more photographs from Fun in Acapulco. My song of the week is a well-known mariachi song written and composed by Pepe Guizar in 1937. Guizar wrote the song in honor of his hometown. You probably guess where this is going. I wasn't in the majority of people that picked. Let me see. I'll get the poll back up again. I was definitely not in the majority of people that picked the favorite song from this movie. I was in the minority. So Elvis did one of the most popular interpretations outside of Mexico in the final scene of Fun in Acapulco. Yep, my song of the week from Fun in Acapulco is Guadalajara. And it's just, I mean, he sings it so well. He's got that great baritone vocal and faultless Spanish as well. I mean, I'm going to link below Take 3 and Take 4. Take 3 is a complete and utter write-off and false start because, as I said earlier, it wasn't recorded live in the studio. They recorded the backing track and then Elvis dubbed his voice onto it. And Take 3, the engineer starts the tape and it starts too fast. And you'll hear Elvis joke that it'll never happen. And the engineer says, no, you'd never get the lyrics. So it's quite a cute one. And then Take 4 is complete and it's great. So Guadalajara, my song of the week and my favourite from the movie, even though only 6% voted for Guadalajara and 77% voted for Bossa Nova Baby. That's the way it is. I mean, I just love the way that everybody has different opinions and differing opinions, differentiating opinions, whatever you want to call it, differing opinions on Elvis's music. That's what keeps it so lively and so interesting. Again, I'll just mention, if you didn't listen to my interview with Mike James on Splinterwood Radio, I think you can listen back to it. It was the Friday Big Breakfast Show, and I had a great time with Mike, and I'll thank Mike again for allowing me the opportunity to go on the radio show and tell everybody about this channel, your channel, and to pick my favorite 3 Elvis records of that day. If you ask me now, it would be something completely different. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening and keeping me company. It wouldn't be the same without you. And thanks very, very much to all the callers. I just love speaking to all the callers. So I hope you can join me live again on Wednesday for lots more Elvis, including a discussion about the next Elvis movie in the list, Kissing Cousins. And of course there'll be This Day in Elvis History, photo and song of the week, live fan chat and everything. So until then, look after yourselves and take care. Bye for now. Hope to see you Wednesday.